So the family went to see Moana yesterday, and it was amazing, like most Disney movies are. Moana was one of my favorite, and as all Disney movies, it had lessons, right? So it had lessons or messages or themes throughout the entire movie. And when we got back into the car, me being the educator that I am, I asked my family, okay, so what themes were revealed through the making of the movie, or what did you learn? What did you learn? Okay, or what are some things that stuck with you, that you can take with you on and throughout everyday life? And so as the family, members were given their different themes, I was writing them down, and then I realized that these themes could also be applied to money. And so that's what I want to talk about today. I'm going to bring up three themes that I got from the Moana movie that could also relate to money. Okay, so three. Let's start with number one. All right, so the first one was you gotta get a little lost to find your way. You gotta get a little lost to find your way. Okay, so for me, with the A-type personality that I have, I don't like to get lost in order to find my way. I want to know where I'm going, how long it's going to take me to get there, what am I going to do once I get there, who am I going to see along the way. I want to know all of that, right? And it's really hard for me to not take the path that is known to me. It's hard. And so with this, you got to get a little lost to find your way. It tells us that sometimes we have to go down paths we don't know, unknown paths. Sometimes we got to go out of the way a little bit in order to get to where we are ultimately trying to be. And if you take that and you think about that in terms of money, people do not like to do different things with their money because they don't know how it's going to turn out. I have members of my family who still have their money sitting in savings accounts or safe investments, and their money has not grown for years, right? And so they don't want to get a little bit lost to find their way, because when you're investing and you're on that path, you might not know what you're doing in the beginning. So you might invest a little bit in this, you might invest a little bit in that. You don't know exactly what you're really doing. So you might lose some money along the way, but ultimately you learn how to invest, what's safe to invest in, and then you head down that path. You eventually learn which way to go, right? You might lose a little bit along the way. You might get a little lost along the way. And that's okay, because we know that you'll get there in the end. And so people don't want to do that with their money. They want to hold on. They want to keep it tight. They don't want to lose anything, right? But sometimes you got to lose to gain. Sometimes you got to go a little bit back in order to go forward. And it's hard for a lot of people to do that. So if you are on your investment journey, I truly encourage you to start the process, right? Jump into it. What do I suggest that you jump into? You don't have to necessarily take my advice, but ETFs, index funds, mutual funds are the safest route, and they'll eventually get you to where you want to be. That's what I would suggest that you invest in. But you have to choose your own path. You have to decide on your own. And if it takes you getting a little lost to get to where you need to be, then that is absolutely fine, right? That is absolutely fine. Like, for instance, some people who jumped into crypto a little bit early on, and crypto is so volatile. So when at points in times when it drops and then they grab their money out, they've lost, right? Because they're not waiting for it to go back up. Because once they put their money into crypto fell, They pulled their money out, and then they didn't have time for their money to rebound. And then what did they do as a result? So the money that they took out, they went into put into ETFs, index funds, and things like that, which now they found their way, right? Whatever that way is for them, they found it. And so they lost a little bit, but now they're recovering because they're finding their way, or the true things that they really need to be investing in for them. All right, so the second lesson that I learned from Moana is that there is more than one way to get to a place. There's more than one way to get to a place. And the reason why this stuck to me, and I could relate it to money, because we have people with no money in the stock market, but who are doing very well in real estate. We have people with all of their money in the stock market and have no real estate. We have people with a mix of both. Some of their funds in the stock market, some in real estate, right? Half and half. We have those folks. We also have those folks with all their money in crypto. I think they're insane. But listen, there's more than one way to get to a place. Because if you invested in crypto and you put your money in at the right time and you took it out at the right time, then you're winning right now. You're truly winning right now. And so I can't tell anybody what's right for them, right? What's right for me right now might not be what's right for me tomorrow. And I cannot sit up here with a good conscience and say, this is the only way that you should do it. This is how you invest. I can't tell people that. I invest in the stock market. My husband invests in real estate. It is different for everybody, and everybody has to choose that thing that is right for them, that investment that they feel safe with, that investment that they feel comfortable with, the one that's going to make money for them. Because different people have skills and abilities, right? I don't have the ability or the skills to go out there and like fix houses or deal with all of the red tape in terms of getting people into houses and stuff like that. Like that is not for me, right? I've never fixed a toilet in my life. That is not for me, right? I just don't want to do that. But on the other hand, my husband loves it, and that's what he does. And so that is great for him. And so everybody has to tap into the thing that is really for them in order to grow their money. So it doesn't matter what it is. It's for you. It's you. It's about you. It's your money. And the last lesson that I took away from the Moana movie is that you always need a team behind you. You need a team of people behind you who can support you and who can root you on, or who can bring those talents that you don't necessarily have. So therefore, when you and the team of people get together, you make up 100% of who you need to be or what you need to be in order to get the job done or get the job accomplished. So you need a team of people backing you. And that's what Moana had, right? She is sailing all across these seas in order to find this underwater island, right? But she didn't do it by herself. She did not do it by herself. And I said that I wouldn't do that, like give little hints about what the movie would be about or what's happening. But there you go. There's one for you. And so as a result, when she was going across this sea, this huge body of land, she couldn't do it by herself, right? So she brought somebody along who could fix her watercraft, her ship, should something happen. She brought another person along who was good with growing food and who had the skills to do that. She brought another person along who knew the history of their people, right? And all of these people made up a complete team. There was also one other person, a demigod that she also brought along who had the strength and blah, 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 blah. But long story short, who is your team? Who is your money team? Your team that's going to help you to get to where you want to be in terms of your money, right? Okay, you have a couple people on YouTube that you watch, but who are those people in real life? Who's that business coach that's going to help you get your business to the next level? Who is that person who knows all about organization, right? Who are the people that you need in order to make up a full team? Because maybe you lack in these particular areas, or maybe they just have more knowledge than you, or maybe you were just trying to grow. Either way, you need the team. Either way, you need the team, just like she did inside that movie. Because if it wasn't for the team, she wouldn't have made it. She needed all those people in order to make it work. And so who are the people that you need, right, to make it work? Who's your money team? Who is your money team, right? Do you need somebody that's going to help you learn that real estate game? Do you need somebody that's going to help you invest? Or are you all the way back to the point where you need somebody to help you budget and save your money? Like, who is equipped to support you in whatever areas you need? And the thing is when she also went around to choose her people, she knew what she wanted, number one. And when there was one person on her team who tried to offer up another person, and she was like, no, right? Because that person don't have the skills that you have. And that's exactly why I need you. So make sure that you are, number one, knowing what you need. And number two, seeking out the exact people that you need to support you along the way. Don't get somebody on your team who's not going to be worthwhile. Don't get somebody on your team who can't really help you. Don't get somebody on a team in which you match skills and abilities, because that's not going to be a help. You already got yourself. And so choose a team of people that's going to push you and get you to where you need to be. Okay? All right. So I love me some Disney movies. And if you have time, go head out and go see that movie. It was always, like, Disney movies are great movies for families. And we always take the messages along the way and we apply them to our lives, right? That's what you do. And so I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have learned something. I need you to subscribe. If I don't need nothing else, I need you to subscribe, please. Please.